do you mean I am a figment of your imagination? I feel real. I feel like I know what happened last time on the Incorrigible party.
Falzarin, Mullen, and Dreg perform the ritual of catharsis to free Hulsa from Isabella's grasp, allowing her to form a new connection with Shakara and Campbell. Their business in Pisces nearly concluded. The party speaks to the mayor, warning her of the potential Neogi threat spreading across Aspara, before departing for Drukhall in search of Samuel's amulet.
Yes, some past events mayhaps were a bit extreme. But that surely does not lead one to the conclusion that their whole world was concocted by one deranged individual. I must think on this as the adventure continues.
Departing the Pisces livery yard atop your newly acquired steeds, the four of you, Hulsa, Dreg, and Mullen, set forth westward towards Drukhall, having chosen to avoid the main roads of Aspara, opting for the fastest route. Your journey will take you through the hills that lie between Pisces and the Tainted Lake. The rains from the morning storm have let up some. Now no more than a light drizzle as you travel. You can clearly make out multiple sets of wagon tracks that have kind of muddied up the soft grasses of the hills as you kind of enter where the elevation starts to rise. So sinking in a couple of inches into the muck in some places. Again, the ground isn't soft from kind of the heavy rains, right? Seems like this route has been quite busy as of late.
Is there any chance from the back of my horse I can sort of look around and see if there's any unique tracks following along the side of the wagons?
Absolutely. If you want to give me a survival check. Now, do you want to? You're just kind of you're just staying on your horse, or do you want to get down and stop and inspect more?
I think I'm just going to look around, and if something draws my attention, I go, "Oh, it looks like orcs" or something to that effect. Then I might I stop at that point. But I have a 6.
Okay.
So everything's good.
Yeah. So in addition to the wagon wheel marks, there's of course some hoof prints from horses that would be pulling them, and some boot prints like from humanoids, but nothing that's like from some type of monstrous being that you recognize.
Okay.
We don't have wagons though, right?
No, so
Just
you're
horses.
just on your horses, right? Yeah. 7 of you.
Shaft, you are from Drukhall, correct?
I'm not, from Drukhall, but I've lived there for quite some time, yeah.
And do you have any ideas on how we are going to track down this amulet?
Well, there's a lot of shady places in Drukhall. I mean, it could be anywhere, but I got a few ideas. I mean, when we get into town, maybe I can go ask some of my, acquaintances. And possibly they might be able to lead us somewhere.
That is good. I myself have never been there.
Yeah, like most big cities, it's got people you got to look out for sure.
I'm curious if the Neogi are in Drukhall now. Didn't really get much evidence of them when I visited all those months ago. Now, Shaft, are you going to be leading us through these hills? Are you familiar with this pathway?
Oh yeah, I mean, it looks like the trail's going pretty well. The best course. We can stick on the trail right now, but yeah, if we need to get off, I can get us through.
I wonder if these are made by the Paladins. Like maybe they already have been making trips back and forth.
Yeah, could be. I mean, I don't see anything odd about it. Humanoids.
Could also be the Neogi. We should keep watch.
The Neogi, they have like a unique kind of footprint, right?
Not if they are inside the wagon.
Oh, good point.
Right. Would I know what roads they took before?
I would say that both encounters that Shakara and Mia have had with the Neogi in the back of wagons, they have been on the main roads.
That's what I thought. Okay. Well, who knows? Maybe they needed to speed the process up. From what I remember, they mostly used the roads.
On our way, are we passing by close to the cave exit that we came out of where the Neogi were down inside?
The exit is a little further north than where you're currently heading through. If you would like to go and investigate, it would veer you off track a little bit.
Hey, I look over at Falzarin. You remember where we came out of that cave where the Neogi were?
I sure do.
I think it's just up north here a little ways. I mean, I look over at Mia. If you want to see if there's some Neogi there, it wouldn't take too long to
Oh?
go take a look.
Is that wise with our current entourage?
Well, I think maybe we set up camp and the 4 of us could go. Leave the others here. Just a scouting mission. We don't need to go in and cause any controversy. Just to see if it's got any worse than the last time we were there.
So what did you see last time you were there?
Well, there was orcs that looked like were somewhat mind-controlled. They had tattoos on their forehead.
Okay.
And there was a spawn of Neogi down in the tunnels. Falzarin, you burned a few of them. The eggs, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to doing a bit of a scouting mission like you are saying, Shaft, but I agree. I don't think we want to dabble with any confrontation with these Neogi. They're a very formidable foe.
We all have our circlets, right? I point up at my head.
Right. I guess my point, Shaft, is that, like, what benefit could this give us? As much as I really want to investigate the Neogi, we're on a tight timeline here.
No, I get you. I'm just saying we're not that far away from them, and if they're spewing out of that cave, it might be a little bit more of a problem than we may, like you said, hell, they may be in Drukhall already.
I agree with Shaft. I think we're going to be fairly close to that location, and it wouldn't add too much time to our journey to just take a look at what's happening there. It could be very useful information for us.
Shakara, any thoughts?
Only my concern. And I nod my head towards the other 3, Hulsa and Drag and Mullen.
Yeah, we won't be far away. And we won't be long.
Only if we won't be long. Just kind of aim us that way, Shaft.
Yeah, I think I'll sort of steer that direction, but keep a good distance where I know we have maybe a half-hour walk there or something to that effect.
Sure. So you're going to basically take the horses until about that distance on foot, and then just leave Hulsa, Drag, and Mullen there to tend them as you investigate.
Right. Falzarin, you can tiny hut them if we want to be extra. Oh no, you can't because you got to stay there.
Right. He would have to be in it. Yeah. So you're new kind of, you're veering off. You're now moving. Kind of this cluster of hills is kind of in the northern section. And now you're actually kind of moving parallel with what would be one of the main roads connecting Altenshik and Pisces. Now it's not quite visible again because you're still amidst the elevated terrain, but that is about the direction that you're traveling. And yeah, you easily find a suitable site to let the horses rest and leave your 3 companions to investigate the cave opening.
Is the spot that we left and, like, the timing that we're camping suspicious at all? Or, like, is it kind of like where we normally would stop? Do you know what I mean? Like a day's travel.
Well, at this rate, you have been traveling for about 2 hours or so. So
Okay.
you're not even that
So
far
to travel,
into
so
your
to travel for 2 hours and then camp. Shaft, maybe we need to tell them something. Like, to just camp after 2 hours travel?
Well, they can just stay here and chit-chat. We don't have to stay here for the night. Actually, Drag, if anything, we try to get in an area where we sort of have a good view up on the hills, where you can sort of see if anything's coming from a distance.
Okay.
Hey, Drag, if you see anybody coming, just send us a message. We won't be far.
I'm sure we can think of something. We'll be fine.
Before we take off, Sparky, come to me. And I want to just hold Sparky and say, Buttercup, Sparky, Buttercup.
I've
Wait a second, have they not met?
Nope.
Sparky, kind of tentatively kind of flits over to Buttercup, and Buttercup bows his head. Buttercup is her head. Buttercup bows her head a little bit and kind of like whinnies and snorts. And Buttercup kind of settles onto, Sparky settles onto Buttercup's saddle, and they both seem content to do so.
If you have need of us quickly, send Sparky.
Hulsa gives you a quick nod, and she just kind of, crisscross applesauce down on the ground, and is ready to wait for you to come back.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cast Pass Without a Trace on us, and just try to navigate ourselves up to where the cave exit is.
So the exit that you had left when you had encountered Orlane and Clash was captive in that cave so long ago. Well within the mile, so like for your connection with Sparky, it is a mile, right, Emily? Where you could see through Sparky's eyes, it's within
100
the
feet.
mile? Oh, it's 100 feet. Oh,
Shoot,
okay.
let's make it a mile.
So yeah, I was going to take him with us, but
You are outside of that range, but still, it's less than a mile away, obviously. And you can all make me a stealth roll as you approach the entrance.
Plus 10.
27 for Falsey.
19.
20.
19.
I imagine Shaft is leading the way.
Yeah, I'm sort of looking on the ground to see if I see any tracks from Neogi or orcs or anything like that on our way.
You do see some tracks as you near the entrance, and there is actually an abandoned wagon there. It's in disrepair. It looks like it's damaged. Like the back doors of the covered section have been kind of blown off.
That was there when we were there previously, right?
It was, yes. So nobody or anything has come to retrieve it, obviously. And you can make me a survival check as you're inspecting these tracks. You've seen them, but I'll still take a check.
13.
Am I allowed to investigate as well when I see
Oh
them?
yeah, I'm sorry. Anybody that would like to do a survival, because you are all they're very evident, these tracks.
16.
Natural 20 for Falzarin.
15.
It's very clear to you all that these are quite old. Maybe a little difficult to discern just on account of the rains. You see, again, more wagon wheel tracks, more boot prints, and more like the little like single holes, that the end of an insect, like a spider-like leg would put into the dirt. But they do look old. Nothing here looks fresh.
I'd like to go slowly and quietly into the cave where there wouldn't been any rain or weather to have done anything with the tracks, to see if I can find my own tracks there and sort of look around to see if it looks like everything's been pretty calm since we've left.
Okay, absolutely, yeah.
Survival again?
Yep.
16.
You easily pick up your own tracks. One, they're smaller. I would imagine they look like a child's
He
tracks.
also
Right?
he also has webbed toes, and his left foot is bigger than his right. So it's
This has
really
gotta be me!
yeah.
There you can see where Shaft's third leg drags as he walks.
It's a tripod.
And again, they look very old as your tracks, because you only left this way, so they're only one way, in addition to like the cluster of the prisoners that you had rescued as well. But again, looks like nothing has disturbed anything in here, at least via this entrance, since you left.
So, nobody's came in and out since we've been here last. So, I have a pretty good feeling whatever was down there that you burned is probably all that was there. Or at least they haven't came out.
Well, that's certainly good news.
Yeah, maybe they died. There's just nothing to eat.
Perhaps.
Let's go back and look at that wagon again, just to see if we can, take a look, maybe see if there's anything in there of any interest.
So the doors have been stripped, torn from the hinges, as if something from the inside has blown outward. And you can all give me an investigation check.
17.
12.
14 for Falzern.
Mia rolled an 18.
You see all of you. The scene is familiar to all of you. You see the scraps of flesh and leftover pieces of like insect leg, like the chitin and like segmented legs, and what look like the shells of some type of egg as well. Clearly, this was was one of the hatchery wagons, right, transporting Niyogi, either eggs or the hatchlings. And you've all seen the process and are familiar with the process, Shaft and Falzern, from what you witnessed in this cave itself, Shakara and Mia from your own personal encounters with the Niyogi in the past. So clearly they hatched out of it, and there doesn't seem to be any Niyogi living in sight in the near vicinity.
Yeah, it looks like we're clear here.
It would seem they have moved on.
Yeah, I don't see anything that came out, so I don't think there's any problem. Let's head back.
All right. As you approach the camp, Halsa gets her feet as soon as Shakara comes into sight. Dreg and Mullen are, just quietly conversing. It doesn't seem that they've interacted much with Halsa outside of, the ritual of catharsis and how after all that kind of went down. But Dreg kind of speaks up that was quick.
Yeah, luckily no issues. Looks like they're all gone.
Shall we get back underway?
Yes, let us go. We are under a tight deadline.
Yes, there's no time to waste. We should get going.
Hop back up on my horse and wait for everybody else to get on and start leading the way through the mountains.
And I'll put Sparky on top of Buttercup's head.
I imagine it takes a second for Buttercup to get used to. But it is your steed, and Buttercup doesn't seem to complain much about it.
I lean over to Dragon Mullen to make conversation. And I also look at Halsa and I go, Shaft has webbed toes.
I heard that.
I thought you'd like that, Halsa. Halsa's chuckling.
Well, I mean, she doesn't make a sound, but you do see the creeps of
You
a
can
smile.
tell. You
at the
can
corner of her
tell.
mouth. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. I try.
The horses you've been given seem strong and healthy, and of course, with Shaft's guidance through the hills, you've been making good time. Coming out of the elevated terrain at the eastern edge of the Tainted Lake, not far from the river passage that cuts through the hills, that the juvenile Kraken had used to get out to the ocean and through the city of Pisces when it was wreaking its havoc. You immediately recognize and can see the difference in the state of the waters. In the shallows at the lake's edge where, the waves kind of softly lap against the shore, you can actually see the bottom out to just about where the water would probably get over Shaft's little halfling head. So maybe, like 3-ish feet out from depths as far as the water goes. And any deeper than that, the darkness of the black ooze, it still permeates the water. So there's definitely still progress to be made. Far out in the middle of the lake, closer to the western shore, which is the direction you were traveling, of course, than to where you are, you actually make out 2 rowboats. There's 3 figures in one, 2 figures in the other. They seem agitated, very animated. They're standing up in the boats. The wind's kind of carrying their yelling and hollering, but you can't quite make out what they're saying.
You see that? Who is that?
I don't know. They're really small.
Yeah, I can't see far enough to be able to tell.
Oh, if that's more cultists, I swear.
Is it any concern of ours?
Can we make out a language, or is it too muffled?
It's a little too far away to be to discern what they're saying.
It is just a local dispute. We must be off.
Anybody have a spyglass or anything? Falzern, you got some kind of spell where you can see who it is?
About how far away from us are they?
Send Sparky.
They're probably about 2 miles away. Again, they're closer to the side of the lake in which you are traveling to, right?
Okay, let's just travel, cautiously, and we'll get closer. See what we see.
I don't have any magic that could help us in this situation, I don't think, Shaft. They're too far away.
Okay, well, maybe if we get closer, you can send your little buddy there.
Mayhaps.
Here you've kind of picked up that same trail as when you first left the city. You see the wagon prints again, like the wheel prints, kind of along the shore of the lake. And as you spur your horses to circumnavigate the waters, you kind of close within a mile of the people in the boat, and they spot you. They each of them turning to you, waving their arms and screaming at you. And you move closer still. You can finally hear what they're saying. Something's in the water! Something's in the water below us!
I just wave. Hi!
What do they look like other than frantic? Like, do they look humanoid? What are they wearing? Do they look like cultists?
No, they're not in any type of robes or anything. They look like townsfolk. They're humans.
Get out of the water!
Have you stopped? Are you continuing along the shore?
Mia's gonna stop.
Oh, okay. I'll keep going a little ways, and then I'll see everybody else stopped.
Yeah, it'll be if we continue, it'll be going closer to them, right?
Okay,
That's-
keep going
that's
closer
correct.
then. Sure. Keep going closer then.
And you quickly close the distance. You get to about within 200 feet of them, kind of skirting the shoreline. Further ahead of you as well, like if you were to keep going about 80 feet, you see an overturned wagon, which is sitting about 60 feet from the water's edge. There's kind of a number of dazed onlookers that are taking in the scene out in the water. Splintered oars and empty wooden barrels kind of bob at the surface of the lake. And again, seeing how close you are, just how close you are, one of the panicked young men in the closest rowboat drops to his knees at the bow, plunging his arms and hands into the lake to start rowing towards the shore. "Alfie, no!" yells an older man, grabbing a handful of the boy's tunic, yanking him backwards. The old man, he's fast, but he's a little too late as Alfie screams in agony, holding up what is left of his right arm, now missing everything south of the elbow. The boats, they begin to rock violently as they get smashed into from below, and it's all the passengers can do to stop them from tipping over is that, they throw their weight to kind of counter out the rock to either end of the boat in the water. Your horses begin to whinny and kind of tamp the ground as it begins to shake. And there's another chorus of screams that ring out from the direction of the overturned wagon. A large, bipedal, insect-like creature crushes two of the onlookers with two massive chitinous arms, a set of 2-foot-long mandibles snapping at the air triumphantly. More screams from the remaining onlookers at the wagon, of which there are 4. Then suddenly, nothing. As 2 more insect-like creatures scamper out from behind the wagon on 6 spindly, segmented legs attached to a hairy abdomen, snapping jaws of razor-sharp teeth on the end of an eel neck, bark out a few guttural words. "Ex-gurgly!" The 4 onlookers each nod, turn and begin to walk towards a thicket of bushes nearly 30 feet away from the overturned wagon. We can roll initiative.
Fine.
11 for Falzern.
12 for Shaft.
15 for Mia.
20.
Dang.
Frickin' Neogis.
Shakara, you are first. So Mia, you recognize, you've seen this creature before at the crash site outside of Barrack over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Shakara, you are first in initiative. So again, to reiterate, you have these Neogi and these big creature things, which are it's an Umber Hulk, about 60 feet away from you, and then of course the people in the water about 200 feet outside of shore. If you decide you can or want to do something for them, that's obviously up to each of you.
Can and want are 2 different things.
Sparky, show me what's in the water.
And I'll send him up into the air.
Buttercup, let's go.
And Buttercup will run 60 feet And of course, Shakara rode on Buttercup the entire way. I didn't leave her behind. And then I will jump off Buttercup and I will swing at the Umber Hulk.
Dang, girl. Getting it.
15 to hit.
That is a miss as your blade just ricochets off of its insect body. It seems very, very hard.
And I'll bring my sword around and try again. And I rolled a 20.
Yes, Shakara.
I assume that hits.
Yep, that's gonna do it.
And I will smite on top of that. So that's...
You can decide to smite after you roll. That's pretty dope.
So 2d8 for the smite, 1d8 was set at 8 because I crit, and then 1d8 I need to roll, which is an 8. 19 sword damage plus smites 16 plus 9, so that's 25 radiant damage.
Nice.
Dang, Shakara.
Nicely done. You see it's the chitin of its chest start to crack and start to buckle under your blow.
Hey, I agree with your pronunciation of chitin.
I don't even know what that word is.
And is that it?
I need to Google that.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith, which will give me a +2 to my AC.
All right, very nice. That's going to be
It
hard
is
to
a
hit.
concentration.
It is concentration. Okay. Very good turn.
So, Leland, what are your thoughts on the fact that I forgot to mention that Falzarin should cast mage armor every morning when he's leaving for an adventure?
It's like his little prayer, he says, okay? He wakes up.
You know what? We haven't played in a long time. I'm feeling generous as we're shaking off the ring rust. I will allow you to expend a Frizzozo slot and have mage armor up and going.
You are
It's
a
been going for
swell
about
dude.
3 hours. You have about 5 hours left on it.
He's just saying in 5 hours, you're going to have to defend yourself.
So if this battle takes 5 hours, which I might draw it out just to punish you.
I'll learn my lesson if you do that. I promise.
Well, that'll be season 3, really.
I mean, in reality, we took the pee break, and the wifey said, "Hey, did you remember to cast mage armor?"
Never happened.
Okay, Nyogi are up. Oh yeah. Nyogi
Okay,
won.
Hefe ain't here.
Makes eye contact with Shakara. Can you roll me, Shakara, a wisdom saving throw, please?
With advantage.
Because of the circlet.
Wow.
Yeah, girl.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, never mind.
I do get a +4 because I'm within my own 10-foot aura. I don't know if it's going to save me, though, because that total is 17.
You are fine. The effects of the Nyogi's mind control wash over you with a negative result for the Nyogi. But there is a second one who will try to do the exact same thing. So another wisdom saving throw, please.
If Shakara, Shaft, or Mia get mind controlled, Falzarin's making full use of the steed's dash in the opposite direction, just so you know.
I was wondering where
I
you
felt
were going
the first
with that.
one. I was more prepared for the second one. That's a 28.
All right. Wow. Easy. And you see both of them kind of look at each other as the circlet on around your forehead, right? The little gem, the little diamond inside of it starts kind of flashes. It's not a bright glow or flash, but it's kind of dimmed, but it's kind of, they see and you can't really see it. It's it's kind of above your eye line, but a little like rainbow colored glow kind of gives off as it's clearly working and aiding you against their effect. And the Nyogi look quizzical, and then they will begin to move towards the cluster of bushes about 30 feet from the overturned wagon. Dreg is next. He's kind of looking, Shakar just charging in, looks out to the water of the people in the boat still screaming with Sparky on his way overhead. Sparky need to roll his own initiative, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so go ahead and do that. We'll put Sparky in there.
5.
So Sparky hasn't quite taken flight yet, but he is, in the air, about to move out to the people in the boat. I mean, everyone but Shakara is around Drag. He's kind of looking. What of the people in the boat? What can we do for them? I can't. I feel so helpless. useless. And Dreg's kind of he's a little frozen there. He's not sure what to do. You can see his hands are kind of clenching the reins of his horse, and the horse is, again, kind of almost like drawing in on Dreg's nervousness and kind of, stamping its hooves lightly in the grass here.
Sorry, but that should be hand, shouldn't it? Singular.
You're right. It should be hand. How quickly we forget.
Ooh.
Dreg was
Greg's
just starting to feel back to normal until you brought that up.
He just took him down a notch.
So Dreg, paralyzed, will pass the initiative to Mia.
If I were to part the water, like frickin' Moses,
Moses up in the house.
could these creatures in the water go through the wall that's created? It says that I separate the water and it forms a wall on either side in like a trench. They would probably fall though, so that's just
I would imagine you could pass into it and then be swimming.
Since when can Mia do all this crazy stuff?
I mean, I'm a Tempest cleric, baby. The other option is just to go crazy and channel on these Neogi, because, like, part of me thinks Mia would be, like, so focused on, like, killing the Neogi that she won't care about the people in the boat, so... Dreg, though, is, like, making me reconsider these people in the water. All these other ones, I have to touch them. So we don't know what's in the water, right? No one's, like, told me.
No, and you currently can't see anything above the waves.
Alright, Mia has decided in the split second to ride her steed close enough, probably like here-ish. She can still keep her distance. So she moves about, like the horse can move 60 feet, you were saying. She doesn't move the full 60. She gets in front of the Umber Hulk and the two Neogi, and she's gonna channel divinity. She's gonna channel the divinity of Thor. She's gonna hop off the horse and put her hammer straight in the ground and cast Destructive Wave, which is a 5th level spell where any creature I choose within 30 feet of me, so I'm just going to choose the 3 baddies, they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
So you will have to move a little closer to the furthest Neogi, but easily...
I want to hit all of them, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you just step about 10 feet towards the bush, you'll for sure be able to get all 3 of them and still have distance on all of them. So, sorry, they make Constitution saving throws, you say?
Yes, DC is 18.
The Umber Hulk got 10.
Yes.
Neogi 1 got a 21. And Neogi 2 got a 22.
Frick! Okay, well,
Dang.
the Umber Hulk, we'll start with him, takes the full 30 thunder damage. And then, so the 5d6 is 19 radiant damage. The spell actually lets me choose between radiant and necrotic. Radiant just makes sense for me. And then the Umber Hulk is now prone.
Okay.
The other
Nice.
creatures that succeeded take half the damage. So they'll take 15 and then 9, I guess. Like 24. And they're not knocked prone. And then, I guess I'm just standing by my horse, like... pick my hammer back up off the ground. I did it with like a rage in my eyes.
Shaft, you're up.
Okay, I'm just gonna, go, yeah! And hit on the side of my horse and go over onto this little hill that's over to the, let's see, what am I looking at? Well, it has to be to the north side of them, over to the direction where the Neogi are running towards those bushes. And then I'm going to loose a few arrows. So my first one is a 24 to hit.
Yep.
That is, and those have taken damage already, so I use Colossus Slayer, so that's 12 points of damage to the one in the front, closest to the Umber Hawk. And then I will take a second attack and put another arrow into that same one. That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is, I can only do the Colossus Slayer once. That's 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Does the Umber Hulk take more damage when they're prone, or no? It's just like disadvantage on the throws.
If you're attacking it with via melee within 5 feet of it, you have advantage against a prone creature.
Oh, nice.
So it's good for Shakara. It's a good setup. Is that all?
Thank you kindly.
Yes, I think that's all I'm gonna do. Actually, I can do as a bonus action. How does the Umber Hulk look like he's hurting pretty bad?
Yeah, you see, like it's like the chest plate of its carapace is just almost like sheared completely off after Shakara's smite and the destructive wave. It's looking really bad.
Carapace is another good word.
So I think I'll go ahead and put Hunter's Mark on that one that I've hit, the Nyogi I've hit.
And well, you see, maybe this will change your choice, but you see like the arrows right into his abdomen. It's kind of sinking on its 6 legs. So the Nyogi have like these two like an eighth pair of appendages with little claws. They're kind of sagging to the ground. It's not holding its head up on its long neck as high as it was. It's looking really bad as well.
Oh, then I think I'll hold off on Hunter's Mark. There's no point in guessing it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Falsey.
So the one Nyogi is looking pretty rough from what you just described. And the Umber Hulk also is looking pretty rough, it sounds like.
Correct.
Correct.
Dang. Okay. I was going to go big or go home, but I'm not sure I need
You're
to.
gonna blink it? You weren't gonna blink it.
No, I don't think we need to blink right now. I think my comrades have already made pretty decent work of things so far. Okay. So, I mean, it worked last time. I think I am going to use Fireball.
Count the sides of your dice. Count your dice.
Yeah, so I think that's 10 D12.
Carve your pockets of safety. 10d12.
As you set to flourish and this little red bead kind of leaves the end of your finger, you see one of the Nyogi react and counterspells your fireball.
Oh, no, you didn't.
But our circlets.
So the red bead kind of fizzles before it hits its target.
Is there not a saving throw or anything? How does that? I can't remember how that works.
I didn't. Are you upcasting your fireball?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay, then if it's a 3rd level counterspell, it automatically counters it. If it was higher,
oh, right.
they would have to make a roll.
Yes, gotcha. Man, what a jerk!
You were about to start a really bad forest fire. He was doing us all a favor.
Star 5555.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the sign. Smokey says it's at high risk.
That's retribution for mage armor, isn't it?
Yeah. Good point.
Okay, Falzarin is like
As useless as always.
pretty upset.
You're gonna pout?
Would you
No,
like to
angry.
move anywhere? Are you fine where you are?
He goes, no, like angry.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna stay where I am. I like keeping a little bit of distance between myself and the Nyogi because I don't want. I don't know what range they have on their psychic abilities, but I'd like to keep some distance, just in case that helps me.
Okay, Mullen. He's kind of along with Dreg. He's looking out to the water, and he does have some capabilities still to cast magic. Mullen is gonna start trying to swim out to the boats.
Oh, Mullen, no.
So you see, he gets off the horse and he just kind of dashes to the shore, and with the extra movement makes it 40 feet out into the water as he starts to swim.
Can Mullen swim really, really fast?
We'll see.
Hold
I
his
guess.
breath for a really long time?
Does he have web feet?
Yeah. Those should help you swim faster, Chef.
You'll see. It says, Dreg, stay ashore. Hulsa, if you can help, please. Umber Hulk is next. It again is looking really bad, but it's going to round on Shakara.
Heart smash.
The Umber Hulk, much like it did to the onlookers, it raises both of its massive arms. They're like it's like a insect gorilla almost. Like the forearms are massive. He's been eating his spinach, bringing them down on Shakara with the 21 and a 22.
22 is my AC, so I got my shield up in time to block the first one.
Dang, you have a high AC.
You take 12 slashing as its claws rake across your armor. And then Ryan finally it rears its big head back with its mandibles to latch onto you. Yeah, that's only with a 14.
Does not get me.
And the bushes, which the Nyogi had seemed to be heading towards, they shake
Oh no.
and part as a second Umber Hulk steps
Oh.
through
Oh, dude.
Fudge! Crapola.
Ebola.
right up to Mia and is going to do the same thing. Double claw, 21 and a 16.
The 21 hits.
Again, 12 slashing. And the mandibles rounding on you with a 19 to hit.
Misses?
Sparky, following Shakara's command, will fly out. How far does Sparky move?
He can fly 60 feet. I want him to just fly up in the air and tell me what he sees in the water, if he can see anything.
So you want him to just go straight up or fly out above the water?
Out above the water. So that would put him probably close to the max distance away from me that we can still communicate, which is 100 feet.
Okay, so yeah, then that puts him out above Mullen. You have a telepathic link, right? Like
Yes.
Sparky can communicate with you.
Yes.
And it's not like a language, right? What is it? More of a
Pictures. The target can instantaneously share words, images, sounds, and other sensory messages.
Okay. So you just kind of get flashes in your mind of the boats, a more, a closer look, and you just see claws like giant pinchers smashing the sides of the boat, just like brief flashes of them as the boats are rocking. And of course, you can still hear their screams out there.
Does it look like an Umber Hulk, or does it look different?
It does look different.
It's just one creature for sure in the water. We're pretty sure.
Unknown.
Okay.
I will yell out, Sparky sees one creature with giant pinchers in the water.
Shakara, you can actually roll me a history check, I guess.
12.
You've seen these pincers before when you were fleeing the underground caves beneath the lake, and you were chased by the chul that lived in the water. Again, insect-like, but the tentacle face and two giant pincers. I believe they walk around on four legs.
It is the thing that we battled before.
Great.
Also,
It's ugly.
having seen her patron, is that what we're calling? Is that the relationship, the name you're putting on this?
Friend.
Friend, boss.
Anything
well,
but
you-
patron.
You shouldn't mix pleasure and business.
It's just a group.
Let's call you her matron.
Okay.
Oh.
No.
Matron's
no,
vessel.
no.
Madam.
Nope.
Well, regardless, seeing this person that Halsa now has this intense bond with run into danger, taking in Mullen and Drag, and now, of course, Sparky out there, and hearing what you say, hearing what you've yelled about what's in the water, she's going to make the decision, hopping off of her horse, to follow Mullen to attempt to save the people in the boats. She will also dash as she jumps in and begins to swim. The onlookers that the Nyogi had sparked a command to, you see them continue in their direction towards the cluster, the bushel of the vegetation. So the four of them are able to get just about stepping into it. Out on the water, again, the frenzied screams. You see one of the boats finally gets overturned as the boat with the young man that had lost half of his arm overturned as the three figures in there go into the water. Back to the top with Shakara.
Does the Umber Hulk that I'm fighting, do either of them have a tattoo on their forehead?
You see that they both have a tattoo. Right above in between these large kind of, like, they're almost like fly eyes But yeah, right in between, they are tattooed. At the beginning of your turn, however, could you make a charisma saving throw? This is not from the Yogi, so your circlet unfortunately does not give you any benefit other than, your natural aura.
Well, I have a plus 12 to charisma.
What?
Plus my 4 from my aura makes it a 16, plus the 1 that I rolled
Ooh.
gives me 17.
Dang. That's like the
Wow,
lowest
okay.
you can
Yes.
get on charisma is
Just saying.
17. Girl.
So it is impossible for you to fail the saving throw. You see those fly eyes of the Umberhall, kind of similar to the Niyogi, but they just start. You make eye contact with it, and you just kind of feel this haze try to creep into your mind, but easily brush it away. And again, a second attempt from the other Umberhall, but it is literally impossible for you to fail that saving
Wow.
throw. So you are
Yeah.
completely unaffected by
Wow.
whatever their gaze of these creatures.
Probably because,
Sweet.
your patron. I mean,
Oh, I'm just that charismatic.
okay.
Buttercup, get clear. So Buttercup is going to move away from the fighting, and I'm going to bring my sword around.
You know what? Buttercup will have to make that charisma check too.
Oh shite.
Uh-oh.
Aura.
Oh, Buttercup.
She's not as charismatic as I am.
I mean, she's a horse.
She gets my aura affects her too, right?
Yeah, I suppose she was within 10 feet of you. You had moved up a little, but yes, you can apply the aura. Give you the benefit of the doubt again. I'm feeling really generous today.
Wow.
That always makes me a bit nervous.
We're supposed to thank you now, and then you kill one of us later. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna kill Hulsa and Mullen.
Yeah, frick.
That's a 19 for the first one,
They're never gonna get hunted down, I guess.
and I rolled a 20 for the second one.
Okay,
You got that going.
Buttercup proving just as charismatic as Shakara is fine and maneuvers away from the combat.
And I am going to bring my sword around on the one in front of me. He's still prone? Or did he get
Yeah.
up on his turn?
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. It would have. They did have a turn, so yes,
Yeah.
it would have stood up.
That's a 7 to hit for the first one.
Oh wow! If only you wielded your charisma as you wielded a sword.
Right. And that is a 17 to hit for the second one.
Both are a miss,
Crap.
despite the damage that has been done to it. Its natural armor is still holding up.
That's all I'm going to do.
Okay, Niyogi. They know a little better now.
What does that mean?
Uh-oh.
Again, you see their little. They're not like T-Rex arms short. They're like as long as their spindly spider legs, but they end in kind of these two. They almost look like fingers. They're less of pincers, but they're clearly like digits. And both of them will target Shakara. Actually, that doesn't make any sense. The Niyogi that took the arrows from Shaft far in the hills will be targeted with an Eldritch Blast. Two rays shoot out from his hands. The 20 to hit for the first one,
Oh, yep.
and a 21 for the second.
That's 2 hits.
Why do they have such good attacks?
Since when are Niyogi warlocks?
I keep wanting to call them Unagi.
It is only 5 force damage. Is that what Eldritch Blast is? Force damage?
Yeah, it's force.
But it's 5 force damage from both rays. Not that impressive.
5 total for
Yeah,
both?
5 total.
Oh, okay.
They're just baby warlocks. They're still getting used to the
It's
blast.
cool. All
Just
our
babies.
teammates are just running away to a lake.
Well, the second Niyogi, who again has taken less damage, it moves to engage with Shakara. Actually, it doesn't need to.
Rude.
It's gonna stay about 5 feet away from Shakara, saddle right up next to the new Umber Hulk that showed up. And again, its little arms are moving as these tendrils of dark energy erupt from it, hitting both Shakara and Mia. You can each make me a strength saving throw, please.
I get an aura? Or no?
You are just outside the aura, unfortunately.
But if you count where my horse starts. Told you not to kill me. 6.
17.
Shakara passes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so since Shakara passed, she takes half damage, and since Mia is resistant to necrotic, you're also going to take half damage, even though you failed.
Yeah.
So you both will take 15 necrotic damage. As this Arms of Hadar was upcasted, as per the stat block. And Mia cannot take reactions until the beginning of until your turn. Until its next turn. But that's all that it will do. Dreg. He looks over to Falzern. Falzern, please, I need guidance. What am I to do?
Dreg, I believe the Neogi are our most dangerous foes in this battle. I think we should focus our efforts on them. They may be controlling all of the foes in our current situation.
Okay. And he immediately, he starts to move his hand and his stump. And his brow is furrowed and it like immediately begins to sweat as he tries to cast, shooting out a firebolt at the new Umber Hulk. Ooh, with the hit, 22 to hit.
Nice one, Drag.
Not too bad, 9 fire damage to it. Near maxed. Or, no, that's not right. It's at 11th level that you add the third die, right? He's much more adept. This burst of arcane energy that he thought was maybe lost, he's starting to find again. It is far more powerful than even Dreg expected, dealing 25 fire damage.
Atta boy,
Wow.
Dreg, you still got it.
Dreggy.
Mia, you're up.
I think he's even sexier with some battle wounds, to be honest.
Mia is pissed. She's kind of on the side of her horse here, but all of them are in range. She's not messing around. She's going
I'm sorry to interrupt your rage, but at the beginning of your turn, can you make me a charisma saving throw, please?
And I'm still out of the aura. Bill, you shouldn't take so much pleasure in me getting interrupted.
How many hit points do you have? You'll be fine.
14.
The first one gets you. That is a fail.
Uh-oh.
And again, its eyes kind of like flash, and they almost like start to strobe as it's taking effect.
It's cool. I like strobes.
You're not in melee range of me, so you're fine.
Can you roll me a d8, please?
4.
Your hands kind of go limp at your side, the hammer clunking to the
No!
ground.
I need that!
And anyone that can see Mia just she's got this confusion over her face, and
Fudge.
you cannot do anything this turn.
Nothing! And I can't react.
And that's our show? Shakara, please, just let me handle this. It's okay. I'll explain later. It's all okay. Thanks for listening. The Incorrigible Party can be found on all of the social medias. Go to incorrigibleparty.com to find all the links. And we have a Patreon. Our patrons get extras like giving inspiration to their favorite character and mini campaigns. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. All ambient sounds and music during the episode are courtesy of tabletopaudio.com, and our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can contact him for all your own musical needs by email at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Happy adventuring!